Hello and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 122 for Tuesday, the 31st of May, 2022. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag, PSNID, Steam ID, Webby, 360G, and joining me on this very fine evening is...
He's back, it's Mr. Peebs.
And it's Alex from Nintendo Arcade.
And Sensei Switch, as usual.
It's very nice to have you all here. Alex, it's lovely to see you return for a second week in a row. Peebs, it's awesome to have you back as well.
Yeah, glad to be back, mate.
After your Killers concert, your hanging, we've been doing some gaming this week, which has been excellent. And, it's pretty much been a good time had by all. I'm in a very good mood anyway, because... Red Bull won the Monaco Grand Prix today, so I'm really, really happy just to rub it in the faces of the lads in the Discord. So if you don't know, we've got a racing channel in the Discord where everyone just loves Lewis Hamilton and loves Mercedes, and me wanting to be the odd one out, I'm like, right, since you all hate Red Bull, I'm going to root for Red Bull just to be, sticking up for, the guys that no one supports. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun today in that Discord room. It's been quite funny.
What is the Horner bloke? Is he in charge of Red Bull?
Yeah. And that's why no one.
Is he the one that no one seems to like? Yeah. Why does everyone dislike him?
Well, because my theory is Drive to Survive. So if anyone doesn't know, Drive to Survive follows the F1 teams throughout the season. Captain Venom's just put Red Bull wanker in the chat. And he kind of so Max Verstappen actually wasn't in the last season of Drive to Survive because they paint him out to be kind of the villain of F1, like a horrible person, dirty driver and all that. And in reality, he's just he drives hard. And if you follow him on social media or read actual proper stories about him, he's actually a really nice guy.
And he's banging Ginger Spice.
Yeah, but Horner is banging Ginger Spice. But he does get a lot of airtime on Drive to Survive. To be fair, he's on it a lot. And when you're watching the F1 races, Sky. They have all the rights to the F1 and they keep on going to him all the time to ask his opinions for things on the pit wall instead of going to all the other teams. They mainly just go to Christian Horner all the time. Now, I don't know if that's because Sky really, really like him or if he's the only one really willing to do that. But because of that, I think it just rubs people up the wrong way. I just take great delight in just doing the wind up because it's just quite funny, to be honest. But there's quite a few good British drivers there now anyway. Like George Russell. Obviously, Hamilton is a legend in his own right. I just like to wind people up, and Lando Norris as well. But Monaco this weekend, because Monaco's usually quite a boring race because whoever qualifies in first, second, third, fourth, or whatever.
Course as well. There's not.
Yeah, it's very narrow. So whatever position you qualify in is pretty much the position you're gonna finish in. So with the two Ferraris up front, and then the two Red Bulls. But because there was a lot of rain, they delayed the race, and Ferrari absolutely cocked up their pit stops. Perez actually won it. Yeah, so Red Bull come first and third. So I took great delight in winding up Venom and Wes and Laffer on the Discord today. So it was just put me in a good mood.
For this year, then?
Sorry, what'd you say, mate?
Who's looking strong for this year? Who do you think is going to win it this year?
Well, I was thinking Ferrari because they've definitely got the best car. However, Red Bull just seemed to keep on making some good tactical decisions throughout the races and pushing through to the win. So obviously I can't predict which driver's going to win because there's a good few drivers that are looking really, really good. Like Perez and Verstappen and Leclerc mainly look like they could each have an equal chance. So yeah, interesting season. I'm looking forward to Drive to Survive next year as well. That'd be good.
Yeah, I used to watch it religiously years back, but
yeah.
I'll now. I don't know. I think it's when. I mean, I've got access to it now if I want to, but only recently. When it swapped over to Sky and you could only watch half the races, I kind of gave up. I thought, I'm not paying for it. All those years I've watched for free. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Used to love it, but last few years I haven't watched it at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is a shame, but because obviously Sky has such a tight grip on sport in the UK. So that, there is actually an F1 app which if you're not in the UK or a couple of other countries, like every other country in the world gets access to the F1 TV app, which is like 80 quid a year, and you get all the races. But in the UK, because Sky are such a dominant force, you've got to pay for Sky Sports.
You know what really ruined it though for Formula One? It'll never be the same, right? They got rid of the pit girls.
Oh yeah,
they got rid of the pit.
They've got to move with the times, mate. Unfortunately, haven't they? Because all the
put them out of a job.
Over men, what is this aimed at? Is this aimed at a load of gays or what? We want to see women on the pits.
Well, it would be nice. However, you get all those people moaning.
Women. We want to see scantily clad women and bald-headed blokes running around after them. That's how it used to be. That's how it should be going forward.
Oh my goodness!
I don't like they're wearing any less clothing than some artists in music videos, to be honest.
Oh, the good old days, the golden age, eh?
The old Benny Hill.
The old Benny Hill, mate. Bring them back.
Love Benny Hill.
I love Benny Hill, mate. We used to. I used to go to Tenton School, which was right near Thames Studios. So every now and again, the teacher say, "Oh, he's filming." We'd all stand up, look out the window, and there we see him running around those scantily clad women, slapping the bald bloke on the head. It was hilarious. And he lived just up the road from the school, so we used to see him all the time.
Really? Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was amazing, really. He died with shitloads of money, like checks laying around for millions he never cashed in.
Wow.
He was a funny bloke, really. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Funny
just
bloke.
Happy with his lot, I guess. Yeah, he was huge back in the day, weren't he? 70s and 80s. He was huge.
He made more money for Thames Studios than any other thing they had going at the time, because he was huge in America. You go to America, everyone's heard of Benny Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see him photographed with Michael Jackson and Burt Reynolds. He was a massive star over there, and they got rid of him. Yeah. But I guess, that was a sign of the times, wasn't it? But how did we get to Formula One? I don't know.
So just talking about that very quickly. I'm just going to talk about a couple of games I've been playing before. I'm not going to talk about all of them because I want you guys to have a chance to speak. Because I'm talking about racing, I just want to talk about racing games very, very quickly. I've been playing quite a lot of Gran Turismo 7 this week, which has been absolutely fantastic. Big shout out to Lafafumi and Captive Venom for being my buddies in the old Gran Turismo at the moment. Absolutely fantastic people to game with, which is really, really nice. We've been playing a lot of it, but because we've had 2 F1 weekends in a row, we've been doing the F1 cars quite a lot, and so I've been racing obviously in my Red Bull, and they've been racing in their Mercedes cars, and it's just been really, really good. A hell of a lot of fun. I haven't won many races at all because I'm not actually. I can admit I'm not very good at the game. I tend to have a bit of a heavy foot and spin out a lot on corners. But what I do really like about Gran Turismo is, I'm not that good and I spin out and stuff, but I never feel like it's the game's fault. It's because I've pushed the car too hard. There is a limit on that, and I'm using the Logitech racing wheel, and the feedback on that just feels absolutely phenomenal. Like it feels like you're driving a real car. And there was an update to Gran Turismo this week, and Wes has been complaining because he has one of these Fanatec wheels, which is like $2,000 or something stupid. But they've nerfed the feedback on it, so he's really upset that It doesn't feel as it should, so he's actually not play. He's refusing to play it until they fix that. So I don't know how long that will actually take. But as I say, me, Venom, and Laffer have been having a lot of fun on Gran Turismo this week. You know, we've been doing our practice laps, which kind of put you in a qualifying position, and then actually doing the races. And again, I've been having a lot of fun winding them up because every car that I have, I find a Red Bull livery and I put it on the car, and they're like, "Oh, you fucking wanker." So the banter is always a lot of fun in Gran Turismo. So we've been playing it a hell of a lot, and been joining random rooms as well. And you do get the people in there that are dirty and run you off the road, but it doesn't seem to be as prevalent as in other racing games. People in general are normally they take it quite semi-serious, so you don't get wankers all the time. But yeah, because the way that we race is Captain Venom or Laffer will set the race up, and they'll put and we do it like quite realistic. So it'd be like 18 laps or something silly, and we'll have the tyre wear on, and we'll have the fuel on as well. So then it's kind of your tactics. So do you go for your softs, your mediums, or your hards? How hard you're going to push the car for the fuel. So there's that tactics in it as well. So it just makes it a lot more realistic. And just brings another dimension into the game instead of just driving around and around, and that's about it. So, yeah, absolutely loving Gran Turismo 7. To say the only negative that I can find with it, they still haven't sorted out the lobby system. So when someone sets up a game with the track and the car class, once that's set up, it can't be changed, which is really annoying because in every other game that you have, you do a race, and you kind of have a chat about what track you want to do next or what cars shall we do, and then the lobbies fill up slowly with more and more people, and that's when you get some good races going. But the problem with this is you have to exit the lobby and start again, and it's just you never get a full complement of people. But because of that aspect, which is really, really frustrating, But yeah, it's a fantastic game, and I look forward to playing more of it. And the other racing game we've been playing, we did Forza Thursday, which Peebs joined in, Clarky joined in, Venom and Laffer and myself, and it was good, wasn't it, Peebs? We had some good fun on that.
Yeah, I like jumping on Forza every now and then. Yeah, we don't sure if it's had a little bit of an update because the graphics look a lot crisper, and I don't know if it's just me, but I know Venom was saying in the chat as well that it did look like it would had a bit of a spit and a polish. But yeah, great game, great graphics. I'm not that great at it. I'm always coming last, and I Webby.
but it doesn't really matter really because as I say, as long as we're having fun, and the cool thing about it is the reason we keep going back to it is every Thursday they do a weekly reset, so you get X amount of challenges to do for the week, which obviously, as I said, they reset on Thursday, so we do the whole week's worth in one evening, and some of them are single player ones, but most of them you can do in co-ops. It's like a certain amount of different types of races, taking photos of your car in a certain place. The playground games one are always fun when you get two teams that are quite on a similar skill level, like capture the flag, or what's the other one, the zombie mode, we got to make the other cars zombies and stuff like that. It's just a lot of fun, and I think this week I really enjoyed on Forza because there was more than three of us, because it's normally just me, Venom, and Laffer, whereas this week we had Clarky and Peebs join, which has made it a little bit more fun. So just to let people know.
Is it a proper racing simulator?
No. So it's Forza Horizon 5's. It's an arcade game, so it's open world. And it's just proper arcade fun. Yeah. So Forza Motorsport is the sim version, whereas the Horizon games are just pure arcade. And that's what makes it a lot of fun. As I say, you've got the playground games modes. And all that as well.
You can get bogged down all the the tweaking of the car and all that kind of stuff. It kind of got a bit too much, didn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, it depends what you're after in a racing game. I mean, I love arcade races, I think they're absolutely fantastic. Always had a lot of fun with them, but with sim racers, I've only really started to enjoy them since I got a racing wheel. Before I had a wheel, I just struggled with the controller. Apart from with Gran Turismo, is actually the only racing sim which I think works well with the controller. But I'm talking about the likes of Project Cars and Assetto Corsa. I just can't play them with a wheel. But
people spend thousands, don't they, on proper like simulation setups and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you look at Wes as a prime example. You know, he spent over $2,000 on this racing setup. He's got, he's got the bucket seat in a frame with his wheel, and he's, and these Fanatec wheels, right? They don't actually. It's like a box with the wheel bit on it, but it doesn't actually come with the actual wheel. You have to buy the wheels separate, and the wheels can be up to like £600-700 each, which you attach to the thing because they're actually like the real wheels that go on the cars.
You got thinking now. If they do all that, I wonder if they do like a Sinclair C5 simulator. That'd be cool.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. So I mean, you can take it as serious or as kind of as serious as you want or not, but I think Gran Turismo, just going back to that, is kind of that perfect balance because it's a really good racing game. It's very, I think it's easy to kind of get into if that makes sense. But it's not like it's not as simmy as like iRacing or Assetto Corsa, in my opinion. But it's
not an arcade racer, not a sim racer. That in between.
Yeah, but it's more. It's kind of
more than sort of like Cruising Blast.
Yeah, well, I would say. I mean, some people say it's a simcade, but I'd say it's more a notch up towards the sim, if that makes sense. If there was like a dial between sim and simcade, it would be more towards the sim, but not quite 100% sim, like 85% maybe I'd say. And it just has a good feel to it, I think. And it's, and it's good. And, I was playing iRacing for a while, which is, the super hardcore. But the problem with that is you've got a monthly subscription fee for it. And then you've got to buy the cars in the game. And it's like, and the tracks and shit. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And I mean, that's on another level. Yeah. Which I think is too much money. Whereas with Gran Turismo, you buy it for 40 quid and it's got the best graphics of any game, I think, racing sim game, and you can play it online and stuff. So yeah,
cool.
And going back to Forza, because obviously we got our 360G clan tags on, haven't we?
Yeah.
We came across a lobby with another they had clan tags as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they beat us in a playground game, and then they started bombarding us with messages.
Well, not me, but I got one.
Me and I think you got one, and then I got one, and I made the big mistake. I replied, and then that was it. I was getting bombarded with messages.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. I shouldn't have bit, but they were sending messages, you're trash, to this, that, and the other, and I just thought, shut up, you knob. And then I was getting bombarded, and I thought, I've got to be careful, actually, because on my gaming profile, I'm actually an Xbox ambassador. That's me sending dodgy messages. I might get stripped.
Dear. Oh, dear. Anyway, so I've talked about my racing stuff. Peebs, you've talked about playing Forza with us this week, which was, a really good time, and I'd love to see more people in the community come and join. 8:30 p.m. every Thursday, Forza Thursday, absolutely awesome. But just sticking with you for the moment, Peebs, we've had some good gaming this week, I feel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I thought we've been playing. We'll talk about Sniper Elite 5 then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So obviously hit Game Pass this week, didn't it? Brand new game. I wasn't sure if it had been out before, but it's actually a brand new game straight to Game Pass, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Which is quite unusual because it's not a Microsoft game. It's a Rebellion. The guys who did the Ghost Zombie Armies. That's it.
Yeah.
And Strange Brigade. And to be quite honest, they are all quite similar type games. Even Strange Brigade is, and they are good, and they're a British developer, which is always good, But yeah, these Sniper Elites, they must be popular because this is the 5th one, so they're obviously selling well. Otherwise, I wouldn't keep making them.
Yeah. I mean, I've played like the first 2 or 3. I think I certainly didn't play all through 4. But I mean, I just want to get the gripe out of the way with this firstly, and it's only for the PC wankers in the community. So it's on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass on PC and Xbox. And I thought, well, it's cross-play. I'm going to download it on the PC. And bearing in mind, I've got an RTX 3080, which is, one of the higher-end graphics cards. Installed it, started playing it, and it runs janky as fuck. My FPS counter saying it's running at over 100 FPS, but I'm moving the controller stick or the mouse. I tried it on both, and it's just so jerky. It's just kind of like it was just hurting my eyes. Because of that, I uninstalled it off my PC and installed it on my Series X, and it's fine on the Xbox. So that's just my gripe about it. They need to sort this out, and I know it's kind of
master race.
Yeah, and well, this is the thing, right? So many games now. I mean, this is what I'm getting pissed off with. So many Xbox, Microsoft Studio games. I know this isn't Microsoft Studios. However, like it's getting a bit out of hand now because you've got Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5, and now this, all on Game Pass on PC, but they all run like absolute shit. And I've got them all installed on my Xbox because I can't play them on my PC, which is slightly annoying. But that's the only gripe. But Sniper Elite, it's really, really good. And what I'm liking about it is it kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Solid, but with the sniper rifle in a weird way, because there's a lot of sneaking around. And then taking out of enemies and then hiding them in bushes, etc. Instead of just pure sniping.
Definitely got to take it the stealth play. Obviously meant to be played stealthily, which is sometimes quite hard because you end up running and gunning. But it's not the game you can really run and gun. It's all about taking your time, getting your binoculars out, marking up enemies. Finding out where they all are, and then just trying to snipe them from a distance or sneaking up and taking them out silently.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall the first impressions is good. I mean, me and Webby, it's co-op as well, isn't it? The main campaign is co-op.
Yeah.
So we were doing the first mission. I think it took us about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, but we were Chivo whoring with a guide to find all the collectibles.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Which is quite hard when you're trying to obviously do the game and then look at your laptop trying to find all the collectibles, and we missed a couple. Then you got to go back on yourself. But yeah, overall, really, really impressed with it. We plan on trying to do it together, don't we?
Yeah.
I think it's about 10 episodes or 9, and then I think the 10th is DLC.
Yeah, it's a Hitler DLC, isn't it? You got to take out Hitler in space or something.
It's going to take a while. It's going to take us a while, I think, and obviously with the schedules trying to get on together and stuff.
Of course. The thing I'm really liking about it, though, is one, graphically it looks really, really nice. But also what's really surprised me with it is, we've only done the first mission, and the map area itself is absolutely massive, which was surprising. And so you can look at the map, and then you got like like your optional missions that you can do, and we've done them all. As well as your main missions, but yeah, just that exploration I think is just really well done because the maps are so good. You can find different spots for like doing, for like say it's high up for good sniping or whatever, and playing it in co-op just gives it an extra element because you can kind of go around together and then like take out enemies at the same time, like if there's 2 standing next to each other, or you could just kind of be like, oh, I'm going to go over this end of the map, you can go that end of the map, and we'll just meet up later and go and do different objectives or whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't make you stay together, does it? You can be over one side of the map and I can be over the other.
Yeah.
I was doing some of the collectibles while Webby was concentrating on the side missions and stuff, or the main missions. So yeah, I mean it's got you can have it. I think is it called Invasion, where you can switch it on and off, but you can switch it on, and that means other players can come in, and I don't know if that actually come into your single player campaign.
I think they can.
Become one of the enemies.
Is
that how it works?
So. It's like an invasion. Yeah, invading basically.
It's like like in Dark Souls and stuff.
Yeah, which is quite a neat concept. I mean, I've switched it off because if you're trying to do collectibles and concentrate, you don't want people coming in and killing you.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that, and also obviously there's the multiplayer as well, which is I only dived in for a little bit, but it's like a horde mode. So that's 4-player. There's 4 of you, and you just got to like defend like a house, and all the Nazis are coming. You've got to snipe them from a distance. But I played that for about 10 minutes, and it was bloody hard. I think I only got to wave 3.
Wow.
But that was with random. So that'd be quite good to try and get four of us community people in there, and like obviously all in party chat, you can communicate a bit better. It's a bit dodgy when you're playing with randoms.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall impressions are really, really good. So
excellent.
I hope it does well for them.
Yeah, I'm really liking it. I mean, I am surprised, to be fair, that it's hit Game Pass on day one. You know, I think Microsoft must have paid a lot of money to get this onto Game Pass day one, because it's a full price title on PC and PlayStation. So yeah, it's very surprising. I mean, I'm happy because I wouldn't have bought it for sure, but I think it's a really good game. So yeah, well worth that Game Pass subscription for sure.
Yep.
You played anything else, Peebs?
Well, yeah, because obviously you picked up Vanguard, didn't you? And they had was it last weekend? They had a free multiplayer weekend, so I downloaded the free multiplayer. I've played. They have done a few free multiplayer weekends, which I've done.
Yeah.
So I joined Webby, and we had games on that. And actually, Vanguard multiplayer is actually quite good, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
you like it, don't you, Webby?
Yeah, I mean, it was going to be one of my games played, but obviously I'll talk about it now, which is fine. I'm really enjoying Vanguard multiplayer. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and it's hard to explain because for me, I haven't played like a normal Call of Duty game in quite a few years. I'll probably say 3 or 4, maybe even longer. And I love World War II stuff anyway, but it's not World War II like realistic or anything, because you can still get like your red dot sights and all that sort of stuff anyway. So it's not airing on the realism side at all. Anyway, I mean, it's Call of Duty. It's not going to be like that, but I'm liking it because I really like the game modes in this. There's it's all those classic ones. You've got search and destroy, team deathmatch. What's the one where you pick up the dog? You kill someone and you got to pick up their dog tag. Oh, kill confirmed. And there's I always forget the name of it. There's like a mode where it's like kind of like a battle royale,
domination type.
Yeah, you got domination as well, but yeah. So it's like you jump. Well, and what I mean is you jump out the airplane and there's 5 bases. And then so at the beginning there's 5 bases. You're all like, both teams are fighting over the bases, and then every 5 minutes a bomb appears. You got to get it to your base, and you choose an enemy base to blow up, and then the last team holding a base is the winning team. And I really like that. But so a couple of nights ago I was on this with Beers. I hadn't played online with Beers in years. So that was really nice. And Elliot has picked this up as well, Sly Almond, and we were all playing hardcore search and destroy. And I just got that feeling like it was about 10 years ago on the Xbox 360 or whatever, playing Call of Duty again.
Yeah, it does feel a bit like it's gone back to its, because it sort of lost its way a bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the greatest ones was obviously Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
And the World at War was another good one, which was World War II again, but that was really popular. And then it's sort of, people sort of lost interest, but this feels like it's gone back to that era type, and again, just a bit more simpler, back to basics. Yeah. Not trying to overcomplicate it too much.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really liking it, and I know like a lot of people. I mean, when it come out, a lot of people were moaning about it. It didn't review super well, but I think they've done a lot of updates on it because it came out last year, and I haven't had an issue with it. I really like the maps. I really like the weapons. I really like the operators as well that you can choose between. and it also still links to Warzone, so your character's rank goes up if you're playing Warzone as well, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that classic COD. You choose a weapon, and then the more you use it, the more unlocks you get. Like your scopes and your barrels and your magazines and all that shit. So I'm really enjoying it. And I'm really glad that Elliot's picked it up as well, because that's another person who I can play it with, which is fantastic. So overall, it's a really good multiplayer. And it's just, as I say, I've got back into Warzone as well with you, Peebs, and I still like Warzone. I think the new map is really good. But to be honest,
they did the event, didn't they?
Yeah. So, but because we played the event quite a bit together, that Contra versus Godzilla one, and that was actually really, really good. But I really like the fact I picked up Vanguard, because it's nice to have that option just to do something different, because I get a bit bored of doing the same thing over and over again, which is why I like when I'm doing Vanguard, I queue for everything, so I'm always doing a different type of game mode, which just changes things up a little bit. And I'm definitely going to be picking up the new Modern Warfare that's coming out in October this year. My next door neighbour plays a lot of Vanguard, so I've been playing with him as well, and I was chatting to him the other day, and he was saying to me that the zombies mode on this is really, really good. And I haven't played that yet, so I'm going to hopefully be doing some zombies on it this week at some point.
Well, we've got a zombie mode as well, have they?
Yeah, and apparently it's really good. So
yeah, well, I've always liked the zombies on all the CODs, but I haven't actually picked Vanguard up itself.
No,
I've only done the free multiplayer weekends, but I think it's still. I mean, you bought it recently, didn't you, Webby?
Yeah.
Was it on sale? I'm tempted to pick it up, but I don't know.
When it was on sale, I mean, I don't know how much the physical copy is on eBay or anything. It's not something I've looked at, but I picked it up on sale because they were doing a Call of Duty sale on Xbox a couple of weeks ago, and I got the gold edition, and the gold edition was 50 quid, down to 50 quid from 100, but I had a load of Bing points, so I only paid 25 quid for it, so I was well happy with that. So that wasn't an issue for me. The gold edition was actually on sale for less than the standard edition on the digital store, which is why I picked that version up. So, but yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see more people playing it. But I do understand that obviously October the new COD's out, and everyone will move over to that anyway. But I will say that I finished the campaign on this yesterday, and it's probably one of the best COD campaigns I've played. It is so damn good. So I'm not going to spoil it for people that haven't played it, but I'll give you a kind of a rundown. Obviously, it's set in World War II. You're killing Nazis pretty much, but it's all about this elite unit made up of people from all different countries in the world, like 5 different people from 5 different countries, and you actually play as all of them, and they all have different specialities. Like one of them's a sniper, one of them's a demolition, and it gives you kind of their backstory as to how the team got together, and then obviously it goes back to present day as to what happens. I'm not going to spoil that, but it's really well done. I was actually very surprised. I mean, I think they always do a good job with the Call of Duty campaigns anyway. They're kind of like the action movies of the video game world. However, this one, I think, is definitely one of the best ones that they've done, just because of that extra added thing that they did with all the characters. And I love World War II stuff in general anyway, and I just really love that aspect to it as well. And I'm just really glad that they didn't censor anything in the game, if you know what I mean, as well, which is really, really good. So absolutely fantastic campaign. So even if you're not gonna play the multiplayer, I'd recommend picking this up on sale at some point just to play the campaign, because it's a really, really good one. Yeah. So, but if you do pick it up and want to play more multiplayer with me, then go ahead. I'm always up for a game. Cool. What else you play, Peebs?
I've played a couple of indie budget games that were in the sale.
Okay.
I always look on the store, and there's always little sales and some big price reductions on some games. I picked up this game. It's called Stories Untold. It's like a little indie game, and it's quite a good little game. It's like an episodic horror adventure puzzle, like set in the 80s. So it's all like it reminds me of Stranger Things, like with the music, the poster. Apparently, the poster and the cover art is actually designed by the same guy who did Stranger Things, all the poster art and stuff.
Okay.
So it's very sort of like Stranger Thing-esque, like the way it looks, but it's you sort of sat at the first episode is like you sort of basically sat at a desk and you're just tapping away at this like old computer, and you've got to solve the puzzles and stuff. It's quite difficult. I've only played the first 2 episodes. There's 4 altogether, so I think they're only about half an hour each. It's only like a 2-3 hour. Well, depends if you use a guide or not. I mean, it could take hours if if you're not cheating type thing.
Yeah,
I must admit I did use a guide.
You're a Chivo whore in it.
I get frustrated. Yeah, it does get a bit frustrating. I can't help myself. But yeah, I think it's. I'm not sure if it's like about £10 normally. I think I paid £2 for it. So
right.
always look in the sales. But yeah, it's a good little game. I'm going to finish off the other 2 episodes this week, hopefully. It's popping up the achievement, so I think hopefully I should get a full 1,000 on this. But yeah, it's quite difficult. I was just reading up on it, trying to give you a bit of a synopsis, but it's out on all the consoles, but obviously I'm playing it on the Xbox.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's text-based adventure, first-person exploration, puzzle solving. So give it a go. And then the other one I picked up with this. This is called Bud Spencer and Terence Hill Slaps and Beans.
What?
You messaged me, Webby. What are you playing?
Bud Spencer, Terence Hill. What?
Slaps and Beans.
Slaps and Beans.
Yeah, it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up done in like a old school, was it 16-bit graphic type. Apparently, Bud Spencer and Terence Hill. I think they're like a 70s American TV show or something. I don't. Obviously, they're not they're not well known over here, but I think they're like American TV stars from back in the day.
Right.
But yeah, it's just like a side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's a few like little other games in it as well, like you do this beer drinking competition, which is like quick time events and stuff. So they try and mix it up a little bit. But again, this was, I think I paid about £1.50 for it in the sale, and I just sort of just looked at the trailer and I just thought I like the art style and the graphics because it's a bit old school. So and it's a beat 'em up. So I thought, yeah, £2, £1.50. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
less than a coffee. So picked that up. Yeah, and enjoy it, but it's bloody hard. It is hard. But yeah, you can. I think it's couch co-op as well. I don't think it's multiplayer, but it's couch co-op. But you can change between the 2 characters while you're playing. You press LB and you can change between the 2 characters.
Nice. Yeah, it looks quite cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's quite funny.
Nice.
Also, I picked up in the sale Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid saga.
Whoa, Cobra Kai! I love Cobra Kai
because I was really interested in this when it first came out. But it was like about 20. I think full price. I think it's about 25, 30 quid game. But yeah, again, I think I paid about £7 for it in the sale.
Yeah,
it's quite a big game actually, isn't it? I didn't realise it was. Because I thought, 25 quid's pricey for this, for like a, probably a 3-hour campaign type thing. But yeah, no, it's quite because you can play with both dojos, don't you?
Yeah,
you can play with one side, and then you play the game again with the other side.
Yeah,
it's quite long and end bosses and stuff, and then you get all the special moves and stuff, don't you? That you can, all your power ups and stuff that you use your skill points and stuff on. But yeah, overall, really like it. I've done one side with the Cobra Kai dojo. Now I've just started the other side.
Miyagi-Do.
Yeah, Miyagi-Do. That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I plan on to. I've got too many games on the go at the minute.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, and my general rule is I'll play one game and I normally try and play it to the end before going on to something else, because you keep chopping and changing between games, you forget the controls and so.
Well, in my case, I just forget I've got them.
Well, yeah, that's the thing as well with the Game Pass. It's just like another game coming out. You know, people do moan about Game Pass, you know, for whatever reason, but you know, I think it's great. But yeah, the thing is I'll spoil because you know there's a game on there, right? I want to play that, and then another game comes out, and I want to play that.
Netflix
But yeah,
effect,
you know, I'm still spending as well. I'm still buying. You know, I've got the Game Pass, but I'm still like buying the odd game here and there.
Yeah.
You know, when they're in the sale and stuff, and
yeah.
So yeah, that Cobra Kai is definitely worth it in the sale.
Yeah.
And another Game Pass game, Aliens Fireteam Elite, which I know I've had for ages now, but I just want to complete it. I'm on the last couple of levels. I think there's three chapters to each level, and I've only got 2 chapters left in the last thing. And again, that's multiplayer and it's playing with randoms. But even though this is on Game Pass, you do struggle trying to find people to play with. You sit in the lobby for a little while before. I mean, I can normally get one other person in, but then the third person always is the bot, and the bot's frigging useless.
Yeah.
And it is quite difficult, even on standard difficulty.
Yeah,
I'm finding it quite difficult. And then there's no checkpoint, so if you die, that's it. That mission's over. You have to start it again from the beginning, which is also very annoying.
Yeah.
Because the missions are like 20, 30 minutes long, and you can get right towards the end and die, then you've got to do the whole thing again.
Yeah, it's a fucking pain in the ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I stopped playing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm persevering with it. I want to try and finish it off. The achievements are quite stingy as well. I've got 200 out of 1,000 on that. And some of them are like quite long-winded. It means you have to kill 1,000, something like 10,000 aliens, and then loads of like long-winded ones like that, which mean playing it for a long time. Because I think it's designed to keep playing over and over, because you do level up. You've got different classes to level up. There's all like different outfits and helmets and decals for your guns and stuff. So they've tried to do a bit, but I don't know. It's just not. I mean, graphically it's okay. The sounds and that are great. The guns and the aliens sound just like they do in the film, but I don't know. It's just missing something, which is a pity, really, because obviously it's aliens and everyone loves the aliens films. But yeah, but I'm going to just try and persevere with it. Get this last couple of missions done, and I'll probably be done with it.
Fair dues, mate.
And then what else? Oh, Roller Champions, which is the new, Ubisoft free to play. I knew nothing of this game, and I know you were game testing it or something, weren't you, Webby? But I knew nothing of this game till I see a little advert. Sorry.
I was going to say, wasn't that a while back you played this, Webby?
I can not confirm or deny if I have played this in the past. I can say though that I have played it and it's not good. That it's not very good.
Well, I didn't know nothing about it until I see like the little advertisement in the corner, you know, like you do when you switch Xbox on. And I thought, oh, what's this? So I had a little look at it. Free to play from Ubisoft. I thought, well, it's like roller skating. Sort of dodgeball type game, isn't it?
Yeah.
But excuse me, I downloaded it and then they were having a lot of issues with it. I don't know if it's because obviously it just come out this week and everyone was trying to play it, but it was literally crashing for a lot of people. I was looking at the Twitter feed and stuff, and it was, you know, people couldn't get it to work. But then a couple of days later, I tried it again and I had no issues with it. They've obviously sorted it out, and I actually didn't mind it. I mean, it's done. Thing is with these, like all these companies now trying to get on the free to play, and then try and make money off, you know, buying battle passes and skins and all the rest of it, you know, like Apex Legends does and Fortnite and, you know, and even Warzone, you know. So they've obviously tried to get into that market, and there's something different, you know. It's not a shooting game, you know, it's not a battle royale. So obviously it's something different, which is good. But basically, you just go around on this I don't know how many modes there are, but what I've played is you just go around a circuit. They drop the ball in. There's 3 on each team, and you just roller skating around this ring, and then you've got to get the ball, and you've got to go through the gates, and then once you've got through your gates, the goal opens up, and then you can score. I actually played a few games and won a few games, and I was actually quite enjoying it. So I'm definitely going to go.
Yeah, so there is actually some tactics in this. So it's 3 versus 3. You're going around. It's like a big circle kind of thing. There's 3 versus 3. So if you've got the ball, you can be tackled, and if you lose the ball and the other team gets it, the circle kind of resets. So if you're holding the ball and you manage to, and your team can get the ball around the circuit 3 times without losing it, the goal opens up and you can throw it in and score a point. However, if you roll around it again and you throw the ball through, you get 2 points. Yeah, and if you do it again, so you get, I think it's like 3 or 5 points to win. So the more times you go around and you can hold it without scoring, the more points you get. So it's kind of that risk reward. So, you know, you can throw it in as soon as it opens up and get the 1 point, or be a bit more risky, go around a few more times, throw it in and get 3 points. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's okay, but it's like, as I say, it's one of those, again, as you say, it's one of those free-to-play games where they do a battle pass. So they're going for that esports crowd. You can buy different skins and all that bullshit, and that sort of stuff just really puts me off games, to be quite honest with you. And I think unless there's 3 of you playing, I mean, even if there's 3 of you mates playing, I think after a while you get a bit bored of it anyway. That's just my opinion, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's got legs or not, I don't know. But from what I played, I quite enjoyed it. It's different. Like I say, it's not the normal battle royale types. They've tried, like you say, it's to do, you know, trying to get the esports. It's something a bit different. So, you know, hopefully it'll do well and they'll keep supporting it. I mean, from like I say, what I've played, I quite enjoyed it. Whether I'll be playing it again in 6 months, I don't know. It was chucked some big achievements at me, which obviously perks my interest a bit more. So I'll probably play a little bit more just to try and get some of the achievements. But yeah, it's just the same thing, and the passes and stuff, and you want to buy the pass and you can buy skins and different helmets and different roller skates and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, it's a bit different because I was interested in, what was the other game that the Ubisoft did, which was the esports. They brought out recently. I don't think it did that well though, did it? What's bloody called?
Which one? Oh, the one with the snowboarding and shit like that.
Yeah, it's got all sorts of games in it, isn't it? It's got BMX in and all sorts of stuff.
I think that's kind of died out.
Something Riders, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of petered. I mean, I'm still see it. They do put it in the sale now and then, but not enough for me to really pull the trigger on it.
Yeah.
But I will definitely pick it up at some point, and it probably price drops a little bit more. But
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's free to play, so, you know, check it out, and, you know, if you don't like it, you just delete it. Simple as that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, that's about it, really. Apart from obviously the FIFA and the Warzone. I did re-download Outriders because I know it's been a while since we played. Me, you, and them completed that, didn't we? Webby?
Yeah.
3 of us. But they're supposed to have had an update, and apparently the update is supposed to be quite good and added a few more missions and a few more achievements. But I think that's free at the minute. That's with the game at the minute. But then there is going to be some DLC, isn't there, at the end of next month, I think, which apparently is going to be quite a big DLC. It's going to be, from what I've heard, it's going to be pretty much the size of the actual game as it stands now.
You've got to buy that, haven't you?
Quid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to pay for that. So, yeah, you can download the game, not for free, but with your Game Pass subscription. But then, yeah, the DLC won't be free with the game. You have to pay extra for the DLC. But like I say, apparently it is supposed to be a big, big DLC. So if you're really into Outriders, then, you know.
I think it flippy-flopped, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay, wasn't it? I mean, I re-downloaded it and had one go on it this week, and I found it quite hard, but I just did play it on my own.
Right.
I didn't have any, but I found I died pretty much instantly and then turned it back off. Deleted it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so that's it for me.
Cool. So Alex, what have you been up to, my dude?
Nothing. No big games like you guys have been playing.
But we're just so hardcore, man.
I'm hardcore, but I'm arcade hardcore.
Oh yeah, we know. Yeah.
I've been playing Ganryu 2, which I mentioned last week, which I picked up, which is a sequel to the MVS game.
What's it called? Ganryu, did you say?
Ganryu 2. It's Ganryu. I've got a physical copy from Pick.
Yeah. Okay.
And pleasantly surprised with it. In fact, I'm so enjoying it so much. I tried to look up to see if I could get the MVS or AES version, and fuck me, it goes for like £1,000
Oh,
or something
you're
like
joking.
that. No, and I was told
Is
it
that
wasn't,
Mark of the Wolves,
wasn't
is
that
it?
good. Sorry, mate?
Is that Mark of the Wolves, or is it a different one?
No, it's a different one. It was towards the end of the Neo Geo's life, so it didn't get a big release in numbers.
So when did this come out then? So what year did this come out? Originally?
Oh, I don't know.
Like the late 90s, you'd say?
It would have been 1999, something like that. The original one.
It looks really good, like graphically. It looks really pretty.
Yeah, so it plays a little bit like Shinobi, a little bit like Ninja Gaiden, that kind of thing. But Ganryu 2, that's just been released on the Switch, probably on the PS5 as well, PS4, is an updated version of that, and it plays really well. The music's absolutely fantastic. It's really fast-paced.
Mm-hmm.
It almost feels like a Sonic game. You're moving through the level so quickly. You've got to be careful, though, because you can move through it so quickly. You've got this dash move where you just obliterate everything in your path. All the enemies just get slashed to bits. But, there's loads of little secrets. So you can do this little spin attack and you can jump right up high. And there's loads of little secrets and extra one-up lives and power-ups. You've got like a power meter, which is for a special move. You've got to get that really powered up. You've got shuriken, like a dart that you can shoot, as well as your slashing attacks. You move really quickly through the levels. It's a tough game, but it feels like an arcade game. Looks beautiful. And then sort of the end of the level, you get a boss, like a demon, you have to defeat. And it took me about 3 or 4 attempts to defeat the first one. Once you've worked out the pattern, they're fairly easy. And then the second level, I'm on sort of like a Indiana Jones sort of roller coaster mine ride, mine cart ride.
Yeah.
But you're in a barrel and you're going down these tracks, and you can see the end of the track disappearing. So you've got to quickly press jump to get to the next track above you. So you're in the barrel above, and then you've got enemies coming from you in other barrels from other tracks. So you've got to use your shuriken to sort of kill them off. At the same time, watching where the track's going to end, so you've got to make your next jump. It's a really cool game. Really enjoying that at the moment. I've been playing that a lot. It's really cool. These are all physical games, guys.
Yeah, I just want to say
physical games.
That Ganryu game, and it came out on the 22nd of April. Yeah, it's £14 on Steam.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I got the physical copy for about 25 quid off Amazon.
That's not bad, is it?
Maybe. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah. Nice. It's on my wish list now.
Yeah. The next one is the Mummy Remastered, or Demastered, I should say.
Oh, the Mummy Demastered.
Yeah, I don't know if it's loose, because I haven't seen the film, but I think it's loosely based on the film. Is it that Tom Cruise one, is it? I'm not sure.
Right. The Dark Universe thing, or whatever it was.
Sorry, Darren?
That was the same, the Dark Universe Mummy that they tried to do.
Yeah. So this is kind of like a Metroidvania. And this was recommended to me by a few YouTubers. You've got to get this, Alex, if you love Metroid, because they all know I love Metroid.
Yeah.
I'm 100% Metroid Dread. I love that game. That was my game of last year. Absolutely brilliant. So I thought I'd try this. And, I'm struggling with it at the moment. I find it a little bit fiddly. After you've played such a superb game like Dread, it's hard to sort of go into these games and not pick it apart, really, because there's parts in it where you're going down through these sort of deep caverns, and it's a lot of platforming, a lot of floating platforms that are going up and down. And if you hit an enemy by accident, you sort of get jolted back about 2 or 3 foot, and you end up falling off the platform and going all the way down to the bottom and have to climb back up again. It's like, fucking hell, that's such a bad mechanic in a game, because you wouldn't get Metroid. In Metroid, you can shoot like 360 all the way around you. In this one, you can only shoot. You can shoot all the way around you, but it's like it's either horizontal, 45 degrees, or straight up. There's nothing in between. So if you're on a platform and an enemy's flying around, it's normally a fucking bat or a rat. The worst enemies in video games. You just can't get them.
Yeah.
You know, unless you jump off the platform and jump somewhere else. That I find really irritating, and that's what I'm finding irritating in this at the moment. But saying that, graphically, it's really cool. It's got a nice graphic art style, sort of 16-bit graphic art style, some cool music, and it's set in a kind of sort of ancient Egyptian kind of world, you know, like the Mummy is. And you're sort of a marine, you've got to go in there. It's okay. I'm going to give it, because my mate said there's a lot more upgrades. Just give it more time. There's a lot more upgrade. So I'm going to give that a little bit more time to see if I can get into it. So, yeah, that was a limited run.
Oh, nice.
Again, I got pretty cheap for about 25 quid, something like that. So nice to pick that up and give that a go through. My next physical pickup is a game I actually downloaded last year, and I couldn't believe that I've missed out on this game, because I absolutely fell in love with it. It's Huntdown, and it's got a physical release now. Have you played this, guys?
Huntdown?
No, I haven't heard of it, I don't think.
Oh, is this the Bounty Hunter one?
It is unbelievable. It's so good. You have to play this. So it's set in a kind of like Blade Runner world. Loads of neon and futuristic kind of vehicles and stuff. It's a 16-bit kind of graphics.
It's on Game Pass.
The music, guy.
No, I bought it.
It's so atmospheric, and you just got to take out the enemy. It's just like a run and gun game, but it's done. You can't just like Ganryu to you rushing through the levels. This you've got to be a little bit more methodical about it, because there are like oil drums everywhere. And if you shoot one of them and you're near it, you just blow up, you know. Or you can tactically shoot the barrels when the enemy gets near it. You can hide in doorways. So when an enemy's shooting at you, you just press a button and you sort of hide in the shadows while they let off their steam. They're firing at you. And then when they run out of ammo, you come out and then you just blow them to bits. And then you get a really cool end-of-level boss, or maybe two, that you've got to work out, and it's just so cool. It's such a cool game, and I can't believe they brought a physical copy out of this. I had to get it. I fell in love with it.
Is this for the Switch?
Did you buy it on, Alex?
It does look pretty good. Does look good.
Sorry,
I'm
what's that,
watching the video for it now.
What did you buy it on?
On the
console?
Switch.
On the
Switch.
Switch.
These are all Switch games, mate. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I played this on the Xbox last year. I did talk about it on the podcast of Webby probably forgotten.
Oh,
but
forever ago. Yeah,
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. Like you say, the art style, the music is like captures the 80s so well. And when I bought it, the bosses were rock hard, and I gave up halfway through the game because I just found it so hard. But it did have an update, and it did give you an easy mode. I think it was either normal and hard when it first came out, but then it had an update and it had put an easy mode into it. So I did complete it on easy.
Right.
But yeah, it's great game.
Yeah, I haven't completed it yet, mate, but now I've got the physical copy. I probably got as far as you did in it then, because I think I did struggle with a couple of them.
It is hard, yeah, they are. The bosses are really hard. Some of them are really hard.
So yeah, 16.
It draws you in, though, doesn't it? It draws you in. The atmosphere, the whole world is so sort of cool.
It just looks really well made. It's taken. I can see Metal Slug influence in there and Rolling Thunder.
Yeah,
things like that.
He looks like
the impact when you shoot people and the way enemies like fall down dead and stuff. It is just all of that time.
It's £16, just so people are aware.
Yeah, I think it's on all platforms.
Yeah.
When you get a weapon and the sound effects for the weapons sound so satisfying. And a good example of that is a game, I don't know if you played The Butcher, really basic graphics, but the sound effects in it made the game, because you really felt like you had a fucking powerful weapon. You were blowing the shit out of stuff. Yet the graphics were like tiny. Have you ever played The Butcher?
No.
Oh, mate, that
No.
is a cross between Doom. If you like Doom, it's a 2D Doom. So you're looking at a 2D environment, and you're just going around obliterating demons and shit that constantly, relentlessly coming at you. Look it up, Webby.
Yeah,
It's
I am
fucking.
now.
It
Yeah,
looks so basic, but
yeah.
the sound effects in it, like, and there's like when you hit an enemy, they just the arms and legs go everywhere, and a fucking head goes everywhere, and you just feel empowered. Do you know what I mean? Because the gun sounds realistic, and it's the same with this Huntdown. It just sounds fucking great. You know, it really does. It's nothing worse than a puny gun going off.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice, man.
So yeah, that was a cool game. Pick that one up. A game I finished in the week, which I was really chuffed with. I mean, I did it with lots of continues, but I was determined to finish because I paid a lot of money for this game. I've been into it at the moment. It's all Mega Drive and it's all Switch at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm exploring the Mega Drive because, you know, I'm a Nintendo guy. I had a SNES back in the day. My brother had a Mega Drive, but back then he only had really like the Sonics and the kind of Speedballs and those the big hitters, the popular ones. But he never bought games like this. This is Contra Hard Corps.
I played this on the Xbox.
Yeah, I think I had it on the 360.
Yeah.
So I got the Japanese import. Cost a lot of money, but I still think I got a good deal on it. I paid about 250 quid for this game.
It's hard. I found it hard.
I finished
myself.
I finished it.
Oh,
Bloody hell.
I finished it. Fucking hell! I see. My favourite genre is run and gun games.
Yeah.
You know, Haganis. You know, Contras. These are my favourite games, and this was unbelievable. This was a total fucking ear and eye orgasm for me. It was just 16-bit fucking heaven. And there's a constant rush as well. Just like with Contra on the SNES, there are like bits in it where you've got the top-down mode 7. You can kind of chill out a little bit and relax.
Yeah.
With this, it's relentless, fucking one boss after another, and it's, you know, such a good game. Such a good game. It is probably my favourite Mega Drive game to date at the moment, because I'm kind of going through a lot of them, researching a bit into the Mega Drive and seeing what games are like, and kind of compiling my top 50 favourite Mega Drive games.
Oh, nice.
And this is probably my favourite so far.
Nice.
I absolutely loved it. Really cool game. Have you played it, guys?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on the Xbox 360 back in the day. I've definitely played it. It was fucking rock solid.
What's that? Contra Hard Corps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be thinking of a different Contra then, possibly.
You might be thinking of Contra Alien Wars on the SNES, because that's the one I played back in the day. And that is a longer game.
Yeah. No, the one I'm thinking of on the 360 was kind of like cartoon style. It wasn't pixel.
Right.
Yeah.
They did bring out some Contra 3D type ones later on, but they weren't very good. I think Contra really is best at home.
I'm thinking of okay. So on the Xbox, it was Contra Hard Corps Uprising.
Right,
okay.
that's just confusing me. Right.
Yeah.
That was nails. I thought. Well, I found that quite difficult.
Yeah, no, that was really good as well, actually. But yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
I didn't play that one. For me, it has to be 2D, really. It's a bit like Metroid, really.
It was 2D. It was just done in like an animated cartoon style rather than pixel.
Yeah.
It loses it a bit, doesn't it? I'm same with Metroid, really. I still think Metroid's best at home 2D.
Yeah.
Although the Primes were good. They were good games. But, I don't know. I think 2D for Metroid all the way.
Did you like the new Metroid on the Switch? That 2D one.
I 100% it.
Oh
100%
well, you must have liked it
and
then.
I finished it on hard. I've just got to go back and do the boss rush now.
Wow.
There's a boss rush. Yeah, I absolutely loved that game.
Excellent.
For me, it was. See, Super Metro on the SNES for me has been my favourite for years.
Yeah.
I have to say, Dread is beaten that now.
Wow.
It was so. Yeah, because someone said to me the other day, what's your favourite system now? Because it was the Super Nintendo. So many great games on the Switch now that I like playing. The arcade games, kind of 2D games.
Yeah.
Kind of thinking that the Switch is taken over, really.
Wow, that's high praise, mate. That really is. That
For
really
me,
is. Yeah. Wow.
It's got all the games I like playing on it. It's even got SNES releases on there, and because they released Wild Guns on there,
yeah.
Ninja Warriors, updated versions. So it's got all those.
Yeah.
Earthbound on it. So
yeah, it's got a really good selection. I mean, especially for someone that likes arcade games, because I mean, it's this thing, right? Because I was at one point I was really into emulating Neo Geo games on my PC, but pretty much every single Neo Geo game that I want to play is available on the Switch. So I've pretty much bought every Neo Geo game on the Switch, and I just play them on that because it's just so much more convenient to play on the little screen. And I've also got the arcade stick, which if I want to play it like that, I can do it like that as well. So for me, the Switch is such a good retro arcade machine. Just like that. But obviously, it's got all the.
I mean, I would have downloaded Neo Geo ones, but I did it all on the Wii, and I thought, fuck me, I'm not paying for them all again. I've got Neo Geo, and I've got MVS carts here.
Yeah,
I can't pay for again.
Yeah,
Nintendo, I've got to sort this out. Where you buy all this shit on one platform, they release a new platform, and then you got to buy it all again.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
luckily,
crazy.
the Neo Geo games go on sale quite a lot on the Switch, and I normally only pay about £4 a game or something silly. So, yeah.
I mean, I do buy the arcade games on there, and I've got them on later. So, I just like sitting on the couch playing them.
Yeah.
I've recently just ordered, I don't know if we were talking about last week, arcade sticks. So I was in a bit of a dilemma of what arcade stick to get for the Switch.
Yeah.
So there was three I was looking at. There was the 8-bit Do one, which actually I've owned in the past. And I noticed a bit of lag with that one because it is Bluetooth.
Yeah.
The other one was a Mayflash Elite 500,
right?
Which is actually compatible with a lot of systems, the PC, Sega Mega Drive, even PS4, PS5, all of them. But it's quite a small, compact arcade stick, and for me, it's got to sit on my lap.
Yeah.
It's belly. So the other one I was looking at was the Hayabusa. It's just a really long arcade stick, and I thought, that's going to sit better on my lap. It's not going to move around. It's quite big, quite heavy.
Yeah.
So I've ordered that. That's going to come next week.
Is that wired or wireless?
That's wired, yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. So for me, you've got to have that with these arcade games, Although I do like the Joy-Cons and there's no lag with them, it's a bit fiddly, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing an arcade game with an arcade stick, it's just that feel. That you get. I mean, I've got that 8-bit Do stick that you mentioned, and I don't actually make that style one anymore. But I actually swapped out all the parts for SamWire parts, so it feels really nice. And I mean, I use it wired with my PC, and when I use it on the Switch on Bluetooth, I don't really notice any lag at all. But that's just probably because I didn't grow up with arcades like you did, so I don't really notice it like you do. But
it's absolutely fine, and it'd be absolutely fine for me as well. You know. One thing I was going to ask you actually: has any of you guys got a flip grip for the Switch?
Yes.
Or you have?
Yes, it's really good.
Is it any good?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
that makes them? Is there? Because I want to pick one of those up as well.
I'll give you the link. I mean, you just got to Google it, and I think it comes from America, but it was so cheap, like because it's a small item, so they send it in an envelope, so the shipping wasn't much more.
I see people 3D printing them and stuff, but I've got the OLED one, and I'm not sure whether it's gonna fit
their
that
website would. I mean, I think it would be fine. It's a really good thing to have if you wanted to play, your arcade games that use that, the screen in the other way for the full screen, if that makes sense. I certainly would recommend. It's a great bit of kit, and it's cheap because it's just a bit of plastic.
Just a bit of plastic, I've got to get one. Nintendo should make that, really, shouldn't they?
Oh, no, they should.
Official.
But they won't.
Yeah. No. Anyway, so those are the games that I've been playing with. I've just picked up some other games here. I'll just quickly go through these. I picked up God Eater 3. Have you heard of that one?
Yes, I've heard of it. I've not played it, though.
I've played it, I think it's 3. I've played 3 and 4, maybe, if they got to 4. They're always reasonably good. They're just like highly anime-inspired versions of Monster Hunter, basically, with a twist, like where you have a living weapon that basically eats things off of your vanquished monsters.
Oh, okay. Odd. It looked quite good. What I saw of it looked all right. Yeah, so I picked that one up. Shin Megami Tensei 5. Have you played that one, Darren?
No, I haven't played that one, no. Don't think I've played any of the Shin Megami Tensei games.
Oh, I thought that'd be right up your street.
Technically, I've played some of them in the sense that they are tied in with Persona and other stuff.
Yeah. So, actually, Webby, you'd probably quite like that, I reckon.
Yeah, I've actually got it on the Switch. I just haven't played it yet. I haven't actually played my Switch since I got back from Australia at all, because I've just been hooked on my Xbox, really, and my PlayStations. So many hours in the day, right? But it's there waiting for me.
It's supposed to be a very good game. Quite a big game. So, picked up that. Looking forward to playing that. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which I think only got a Switch release. I don't think it came out on any...
It was a Switch exclusive, no.
Yeah, I did enjoy the games on the 360. I quite like those, so I'll give that a go. It looks quite good. And then
it's made by a Japanese developer as well.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be all right, isn't it?
I think it's... Yeah, I've played it. I really enjoyed it. And it's basically where they've kind of done all the Marvel stuff, but they've given them more of a Japanesey kind of design in the way the characters are done.
Yeah.
So it does make a difference from obviously the previous Ultimate Alliance games, but there's a decent enough roster of characters in it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to playing that. So there's some big games here I'm mentioning here. Where everyone gets time to play.
That's just it.
So used to playing the arcade games, pick up and play, get your high score, and move on to the next one. Stormwind EX, which
that's a good game.
Have you played it, Webby?
Yeah, I like it. I do love a shmup.
Yeah, so this is a horizontal shmup.
Yeah.
Did he get a Dreamcast release?
I think it's been out on a few systems. Look, it's definitely been on other systems. I think it came out on the Saturn. Sega Dreamcast. Yeah, I'm just looking online now. There's
It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, so there's a video here comparing the two. Yeah, it's a really good game. I've got this on the Switch actually, and I do enjoy playing it.
You downloaded it? You got a physical copy or?
No, I downloaded it, mate.
Yeah, you don't buy a physical, do you? So I got this from Pixel in Love, which I think is a French company. I bought a few games from. It looks stunning. What I've seen of it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun as well.
Yeah. So as soon as I get my arcade stick, I'll be firing that one up, definitely.
Awesome.
And the last Switch game here, a bit of an odd one, really. Fucking hell. You've never heard of this one. Blackbird.
For the Switch?
You played this? Yeah.
No.
It is it plays like. Have you played Fantasy Zone? It's like horizontal shooter.
Right. Oh, okay. Looks weird.
It's very weird. It's got that kind of really weird gothic, almost steampunk, I would say, a little bit steampunky, but very gothic, very dark. Horizontal shooter.
It looks really weird. Like, so I'm watching this level now. You're like this really weird. You don't even look like, you look like a black blob with a beak flying around, killing these freaky enemies, and the background's really dark. There's like windmills and shit, and I'm like, what the F? It looks like one of those old crazy Japanese games that you would only see in a Japanese arcade in the 90s.
Yeah, doesn't it? It looks so freaky.
And this is on the Switch, is it? This is on the Switch.
Yeah,
wow.
It looks like a Tim Burton film.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so odd.
Very odd. But people comparing it to sort of Fantasy Zone. You must remember Fantasy Zone.
Oh, with the Fantasy Zone with that little red ship.
I love Fantasy Zone. I played it on the Master System.
Yeah, so it plays like that basically, but it's got a really weird theme. I just thought, that's right on my street. I've got to play this, got to have it. This was a limited run. I think I paid about 50 quid for this. It's quite a lot of money for a game like this.
Yeah.
It's not a big game, but I can see this game going up in value, to be honest with you.
Well, most limited run games kind of do, because they are produced in like a couple of thousands. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only going for the games I like the shmups.
Yeah.
You know, I want to get all the shmups.
Weird.
And that's it. That's all my Switch games. I just bought a couple of Famicom disc games. These were a great price, because if you get the cart version of these, you're talking about 150 a cart. I paid 40 quid. I paid 40 quid each for these. So I got Metroid on the Famicom disc and Castlevania on the Famicom disc. And to play these on the... Yeah, so I've got a Famicom Twin.
Oh.
A Sharp Twin. It plays carts, Famicom carts, and it plays discs as well.
I didn't know the SNES. Oh, floppy disk. I didn't even know I had a floppy disk attachment. Bloody hell. Weird.
Well, it's built in. It's built. It's a whole. It's a system of its own. It's quite a rare.
What's it called?
A
Famicom.
It's called the Sharp Famicom Twin.
Oh, it's made by Sharp. Like. Yeah. I just want to see what it looks like. That's all.
There's a red one. There's an orange one, and I've got the black one.
Okay.
I've got mine RGB modded, and it looks amazing on my little Sony Trinity.
Oh.
And if you get the discs, see, they're cheaper than the carts, and they run better, because there's an extra sound channel in the Famicom, so you get more of a deeper kind of music coming out of it. There's more channels to it, so there's more chip tunes coming out of the console.
When did the system come out? It looks like in 80s. Come out in the 80s.
Yeah, it come out in the 80s. So Nintendo did bring out the disc system, their own one. It was separate, and you had to plug it in to the family computer.
Yeah, I've just seen that on this video. Yeah.
Yeah. So then Sharp brought out the Famicom Twin, which was both. You know, it had the cart.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can buy loads of discs, but sometimes you never know what you're getting, because you can rewrite the discs. Yeah. There used to be, like, in Japan, there'd be a disc writer, and it'd be in the high street in Tokyo or any town in fucking Japan, and you'd put your disc in there, and you could rewrite your disc for whatever game you wanted. You'd have to pay, of course, but this would be like a kiosk.
Yeah.
So if you type in Famicom disc writer kiosk, it will come up. It will show you these things were in Japan. It's mad. Just go in the high street and download a game on your disc. So some of these discs that you buy on eBay, you never know what you're getting.
Weird.
Some people have rewritten them over the top. which is pretty cool. So yeah, got those two. Really chuffed to play them. And I got a bit further in Castlevania. Actually, really enjoyed that. Actually, I didn't think I would, because for me, Castlevania is the Super Nintendo version. But actually, going back and playing the NES versions is quite cool. Actually, I really enjoyed that. And that is it, guys.
As I say, this Famicom disc thing, I never even knew this thing ever existed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a really cool piece of history. Because obviously I knew that you had the Nintendo, and the NES in Europe looked completely different to the Famicom, which is the NES of Japan. But I never knew that they did a floppy disk accessory.
Yeah.
Or this, because I'm just thinking now, because I had an Atari ST when I was a kid, and my dad always used to buy the games for me like dodgy. You know, people who just like copied the discs. You know, so I'm just wondering, like, that's how you could just get, like, back then, if you could have probably done the same on this.
Yeah, you probably could have done, mate, but only in Japan. This never got a European or North American release. This only came out in Japan.
Ah, wow, okay.
So it's Japanese thing. They're quite hard to get working.
Yeah. Oh.
Belts go, replace the belt in them, but you want to get them RGB modded as well, which actually did cost me a bit of money, but the difference is night and day. You know, once you get that RGB mod in there, looks so much better.
I mean, Japan had so many weird things, right? Because I know, like the Super Nintendo, they had a internet adapter that you could get on like a big brick thing you could put on the bottom. You could download games. And I was like,
satellite.
Yeah, and I was just like, that's insane. That's like, how many years ago? That's like probably the first console that ever done that.
Yeah. I mean, people were comparing that with what Nintendo are doing with the 3DS store, shutting that down. There's a lot of Nintendo satellite view games that are lost.
Yeah.
Some of them some people have put them on the EverDrive. I have got some of the satellite view games on there.
Right.
But yeah, other than that, a lot of the games were lost because they just were out there. There weren't physical tangible things you could hold.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing that worries me about where gaming is going from a historical preservation point of view. You've got to hold on to these games, man. How is it going to be lost forever?
Yeah, I mean, the Science Museum in London is doing their classic video game section again at the moment. So they've got all the history of consoles. You know, and you can go back and play them.
That about years ago.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, and I just think, you know, and how much. I mean, I love downloading stuff. It's just convenience, and I guess I'm part of the problem, but it's just kind of how the times have gone. You know, like you look at every other media, like music and TV and film. You know, you used to go to Blockbusters and rent them all, and I've got really fond memories of that. But things have moved on, and everything is just, you could just download it within minutes on the click of a button with the speeds of internet now. And unfortunately, that's just how things have gone. And yes, it's convenient, but I also do understand that preservation side of it. And yeah, that is going to get more difficult as time goes on, unfortunately. And it is a sad thing to see. 100% agree.
Yeah, I mean, I do buy the odd occasion. Like I did buy Huntdown because there was no physical release for it, and I just wanted to play this game.
Yeah.
So I did it, but you know, a lot of people cuss limited rather than strictly limited because you know, they take your money and they don't release the game for ages. But you know, when those companies started out, they were small. Now they've become a sort of victim of their own success, really, where everyone knows about them now. Everyone wants a copy. They're sold out within minutes.
Yeah.
You know, it's not their fault. It's just like everyone still wants physical media. Well, a lot of people still do.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a market for it. I mean, you look at the success of the Evercade. Yeah, I mean, that started off as a handheld. People moaned about the quality of the handheld, and I do partly agree because I've actually got the handheld and the actual like home console as well.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a big market out there because those games, you know, when a new game launches, they sell out quite quick, but they do make more cartridges. But it's just, you know, the consoles, you know, there was a point last year where the home consoles had sold out and you couldn't get them for love nor money. I mean, luckily I pre-ordered mine before it come out, the black edition, which is really sexy. Yeah, so there's definitely a market for it, and even with modern consoles as well, they're still releasing, you know, most of the main games on physical as well, and I still think they sell quite well.
I think the two can go hand in hand going forward. I think that people want.
But I think the only problem is now with games now, though, Alex, is with modern games is you buy the disc, but it has a day one update that's like 50 gig. So without that update, a lot of the games are unplayable anyway. So there's still that part of it which is not.
That's one thing I will say, that out of most games companies, it seems to mainly be the Japanese developed games that release with like less need for a day one patch.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, is there more experience in getting that out, or do you think the Japanese have more pride in what they do and want a game finished?
I think there's a bit of their own traditional sort of like stuff in there, as like release stuff when it's done as much as you possibly can. I mean, they do fuck up every now and again, like everyone does.
Yeah, but I do think Alex has got a point there where there is more pride. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day because obviously we all know that Battlefield 2042 launched last year in a poor state. It's still in a poor state now. And EA do have a history of when a game launches poorly, they just fucking knock it on the head and start on something fresh. Whereas you look at Japanese games, and a prime example of that is Final Fantasy 14. That came out, it was dog shit. They fucking brought the game down and just redid the whole thing, and it's now the biggest success. It's the biggest MMO in the world now, and it's probably the only reason why Square Enix is still alive today. They really turned it around. And I actually watched the No Clip documentary about that game, and the developer was saying the reason they did that is because of their honor. That's like that Japanese honor, and they wanted it to succeed, and that just shows the kind of social difference between. I'd say Asian countries compared to like the American and the Brits, you know, we're like, oh fuck it, we'll just do something else. Whereas they're like, no, you know, we want to make it good, you know.
There was a stigma in Japan of even releasing game demos.
Yeah.
At one point, because you're showing off an unfinished product.
Yeah.
I can't imagine Nintendo. I don't think Nintendo have ever brought out an unfinished game, as far as I can remember. I can't think of any.
No, and you go back to the days of the N64, and before then, SNES and that. Like every game that released on a Nintendo system had that Nintendo seal of approval on the cartridge box, right? And that's because they would have certain restrictions and they'd have specifics, like the game had to be in a certain state before they release it. Yeah, so the game would have to go to their headquarters. They'd have to test it and all that bollocks before they'd release it on their system, which is actually really good quality control. And I wish that still went on today. Actually,
back in the day, you didn't have all these social media platforms on your back, did you? You had a magazine that came out monthly. If your game was behind schedule, didn't really matter, did it?
No, but because the only people you'd known to is your mates.
Now.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, it's all the shareholders. It's the whole problem is a lot of these companies just went into like the share stuff.
Yeah.
And as soon as you do that, you basically you're forced to put stuff out to make your shareholders money back, or they just start pulling out and your company loses value.
Is that what happened with that game? What's it called?
Cyberpunk.
Keanu Reeves in.
Yeah, Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was some of that to it. Yeah, because the devs come out and said that they were telling the management that the game wasn't ready, but they were like, "We don't care. We're going to push it out anyway." And only now, we're going on nearly 2 years later. It's in a decent state on the consoles. It's madness.
Does it play all right now then?
Well, I don't know because I played on the PC.
Well, they
and
never
it was
had
fine on there.
too much of an issue with it on the early next gen, like PS5 or Series X when it came out.
Because I was thinking of getting it on the PS4. Would it run all right on that?
I would
avoid it. Yeah. I would avoid it on old gen.
Yeah, definitely.
You won't get the best out of it.
Yeah, well, talking of games that get delayed and stuff, my last pickup, but I haven't played it yet because I want to do a dedicated video on it because it had so much controversy when it didn't come out. It took ages to come out. I picked up a copy of Paprium. Have you heard of that?
Of what? I can't hear you properly. Your mic's gone, have you gone on to, speakerphone or something?
Paprium. Have you heard of Paprium? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh, that's better, yeah. That's better.
Have you heard of Paprium?
Paprium, is it? Okay, game.
Yeah.
As far as
I've just found it on YouTube. It's a beat-em-up game.
You follow the story of that. It is unbelievable. So this was like a Kickstarter that people put loads and loads of money in, and they were taking. I think PayPal was taking the money for the company, and then I think the gist of it I get is PayPal thought it was like a dodgy company, like a what do you call it, like a
scheme or something.
Yeah, and they stopped all the money. They withheld all the from the company, so they couldn't move forward with the game. And they had I don't know, probably $1 million or something like that, shitloads of money to make this game. And it kept getting promised to come out. It's and people were shown graphics. The graphics looked amazing. It's got an 80 megabit cart on the biggest cart ever been made for the Mega Drive.
Wow.
There's just YouTube it.
I'm watching a video of it now.
And just listen to the story, Blight. You would not believe they had a party, a launch party with fucking they went to bits with the launch party. They had everything there.
Yeah.
Except the game weren't running properly.
For fuck's sake. Oh my God.
People were we can't believe it. You were going to launch, it was supposed to be released every year. It held back. And then suddenly, people got sacked from the company. And there was just one bloke finishing the game off. And he went silent. And no one had heard from him for about a year, and everyone thought they'd lost their money. It was a scam and everything. Then suddenly, the game appeared, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is fucking amazing!"
Oh, really?
This is
wow,
absolutely amazing.
Wow,
best beat 'em up ever made on a sort of 16-bit console.
Wow!
And to get a copy like that, which I've got, which I'm sure down the road is going to be a real collector's piece. My mate. Scott, who's got his own YouTube channel, Sega Zombie, did me a great deal on it, and I haven't played it yet because there's some weird shit inside that the designer has wrote a note, a really weird note in it, and I want to read that out and do the video. And there are people if you watch Slopes' video on it, he reads bits of the note out. It's mad, absolutely mad.
Okay.
So
how much did you say the game is selling for?
Oh, the game goes for a few £100.
Wow!
I got it for 200.
Fucking hell, 200! Wow!
£400 on eBay, 450. You're looking at
that's
something
insane.
Like that. Yeah, totally insane. But yeah, it's a cool.
I like the look of it. Yeah, I like the look of it.
Mm.
Is it only out on the Mega Drive? Do they not put a digital copy out anywhere? Do you know?
Don't think so.
Wow! I'm just looking. Look at this eBay listings: 450, 300, 275. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it almost. Most people say it could have been a Neo Geo game. In fact, what they should have done to make more money is released it on a number of different platforms. They could have released it like Xeno Crisis.
I'll tell you what it looks like. To me, it looks like a Mega CD game, but on the Mega Drive.
It's running on a Mega
Final
Drive.
Fight. Remember Final Fight?
Yeah.
Well, Streets of Rage
Mega
was
CD version of that had an extra stage as well.
Yeah, Streets of Rage 2 was always a game on the Mega Drive.
Yeah,
but this
Streets of Rage
beats it hands down, apparently. So, I'm really excited to unbox that and play that. I'm going to do that on the channel, see what it's like, and because a lot of beat 'em ups can get a little bit monotonous. There's a lot of beat 'em ups out there that just, especially your special move that takes your health down. What's the point of that?
Yeah, I must admit, I always got bummed out with that. It was just like a last ditch move, isn't it? Really?
Yeah,
that's why I suppose things like Streets of Rage 2 is so beloved because they chucked in a few extra little moves you could do as well as just punching and kicking and throwing and stuff.
Exactly. And this game's supposed to be as good, if not better than that. So I'm interested to see what it plays like. So yeah, that was my last pickup. I'm going to play that this week, hopefully. Do a video on that.
Now, so you do come across some weird and wacky games I've never heard of, and they all look really good as well.
Well, I do like exploring. I do like exploring from sort of the mainstream stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because I do like arcade games, and it is hard to find those type of games because they're not that popular in the mainstream.
Yeah.
So you've got to look for them. So I do watch a lot of YouTube videos that people that like this sort of stuff as well, and I get ideas from them, games I'd like. And I do like homebrews as well. People are still making games for certain consoles.
Yeah.
Like the Mega Drive. I wish there was more for the SNES. There isn't. I think that's a very difficult console to develop for. I think, because there hasn't been hardly any homebrews for that. But there seems to be a lot on the Mega Drive. And I think that's cool,
Yeah.
Keeps the system alive. Especially with a game like this Paprium. But yeah, watch a video. Go to YouTube and watch the history behind the game. It is absolutely fascinating. You just cannot believe it actually got released in the end because there was so much shit going on.
Yeah.
With the money, they thought they were money launderers, just taking people's money.
Well, I've just seen an article on Nintendo Live saying that they're going to bring out a digital version on the Switch.
Ah, well, yeah, that would be the place to play it for sure.
Yeah, Watermelon, who's a producer, put a tweet out on November in 2021 saying it is coming to the Switch. Yeah.
Oh, that's.
It's also coming to Steam, PlayStation, Dreamcast as well, of all things.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Dreamcast has had quite a few games released on it, hasn't it, over the recent years?
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah. You had a Dreamcast, Webby.
I've still got it. Yeah, I've still got it in the loft. Yeah, I don't want to have anything like that out. I mean, with my kids running around, I've lost my man cave at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm like doing everything in the bedroom. I've got my PC in the bedroom and stuff. So I just don't have the room anymore. So it's probably all going to be locked away until I move to a bigger house or something, to be honest.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Where are you living now?
Near Kettering, Northampton. So, yeah.
Northampton.
Yeah.
Not too far.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right, I just want to see what Switch has been playing.
Not a lot, to be honest. Just the usuals this week, pretty much.
Okay, mate.
So it was a good job we had like Alex and Peebs on as well, really.
Well, yeah, I mean,
was just tested out the new class that was released on Black Desert, Dracania. Seems like a really good class to use. Just uses a sword with lightning abilities and stuff.
Nice. You and your MMOs, mate. It never ends, does it?
What were you saying? Yeah.
If that's all you've played, though, mate, I mean, I've got a couple of games I just want to mention.
Yeah, go for it. You just move on.
So obviously I've been on the Call of Duty train, and Peebs mentioned to me that Black Ops Cold War campaign was pretty good. So I picked this up and I banged it out in like 3 days, and I really enjoyed it. Actually, it was a lot of fun, but it was quite short. I would say it's shorter than the campaign for Vanguard. So I'm just trying to find a video, and the fucking YouTube on my browser is just decided to have a turd on me, as it does when I'm not talking. Everything works fine, and as soon as I start talking, everything just goes to shite. So just give me a second. It's Cold War. Yeah, so Black Ops Cold War, I really liked it because it's set in like the Vietnam era. So it has kind of the modernish weapons, and you're this unit, and you've got to like stop the Russians, of course, setting off a nuclear device. But it's got a really good twist to the story, actually, with who your character is. Which I'm not going to spoil at all, because if you've not played it yet, it's a really good twist that you do not expect at all. I don't know if Peebs really remembers much of it. No. But the ending was really good. But like I'd say the last core of the game is definitely the best because of the twist in the story. It's absolutely fantastic. The only thing I thought was a bit odd, it's set in Vietnam, and when you're creating your character, you get the option to make your character non-binary, which doesn't really fit with the era. I thought was a bit odd. Yeah, so I had a little bit of a chuckle thinking, what the fuck is this? But apart from that wokeness, the rest of the game was actually really, really good, and I really enjoyed it, to be honest. Lots of twists and turns. Again, I've been really into COD this week. Talked about the other ones already. But if you've not played it, the campaign on this is really, really good. But not as good as Vanguard's, which is just a tad better than this. But this is still a good one to play. And that's all I'm going to say on that, because I know it's quite old now, and most people have played it. I've only played 2 other games. One of them actually came out this week on Game Pass. Pacman Museum Plus came out on Game Pass, and I think this is out on pretty much everything.
I bet Dan will have this one, eh?
Oh yeah, 100%, yeah. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. So it's basically a little mini arcade, and you're Pac-Man, and you can run around it, and then select the little arcade machines that you can play, like all the different Pac-Man ones. Some of them you can only unlock after playing like other ones a couple of times or whatever. But it's got loads of Pac-Man games on there. It's even got some of the console Pac-Man games on there as well. So
cool.
Yeah, but the cool thing about it is the more you play, you get these little Pac-Man coins, and then you can deck out your arcade with more stuff as well, and buy more music and things. But yeah, it's got Pac-Man Championship Edition, Pac-Man 256, Pac-Man Royale, Pac-Mania, and there's a few other Pac-Mans on there. I can't remember them all because I only played it very briefly. But I just wanted to mention it's a really, really cool little game. Obviously, if you're on Game Pass, you're picking it up as part of your sub, but it's also on the Switch and PlayStation and PC as well. Not sure on the price on the other systems, though, to be fair, but it's got quite a lot of Pac-Man games on it. So definitely worth checking out.
Cool.
Yeah, so okay, and the last game that I've played is with Wes. Again, we are still playing through We Were Here Forever. Oh my god, I have to say, I really can't wait until this comes out on console. And I hope it does. I mean, I've read it is. I don't know when, because this is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best co-op puzzle game I have ever played. It is so damn good. It's you know, I mean, there's been some other co-op games that I've really enjoyed, like It Takes Two, which was a fantastic experience. But this is on another level because it's basically just, I would say, escape room after escape room after escape room. But it's got like a really twisted story to it as well, like quite dark and mischievous in a weird way. But the puzzles are so fucking hard, and as I mentioned last week, some of them are just so freaking mind-bending. It's just absolutely insane. Like I mentioned last week, there was one where like rooms were coming up above us and below us and to the side and filling up this like cube. We could go through portals into all these rooms to solve a puzzle. But the most recent ones we did were like about these like dolls, and you had to seat them in certain positions. But like I was upstairs like reading out some stuff about these dolls, and so Wes was trying to put them in these seats in the right order, and they all look really freaky. And it's just like you have to read these little riddles to kind of figure out the story behind it. It was basically like set in medieval times. You had a king and a queen, and you like the Joker and the peasants and all that. Some of them were spies, and there was these riddles as to you have to have the spies sitting in certain seats so they couldn't overhear the other people. But it was just so well done. Like once we figured it out, and it took us a long time to figure it out, we were like, wow, that sense of achievement you get from solving puzzles on this is just immense because they are so well done. And once you figure them out, you're like, oh yeah, oh my God, why didn't we see that earlier? Because they're just so clever.
Yeah.
You know, and it is the most well done co-op puzzle game I've ever played, just because it's just, you can tell that the developers have put so much thought and care into designing all of these puzzles. You know, none of them are throwaway, just crappy ones at all. They all make you think. They're all so well done. You know, and just the locations are really cool. You know, it's just a great game. It really, really is. Absolutely loving it. So, and the only reason why I think it's coming to consoles because when I load it up, it has an option for cross-play written down on the main menu screen. So that's why I think it's coming to other systems at some point. So, but this is like the fourth game in a series, as I mentioned last week. So once we've done this, we're going to go back and play the older games. So,
nice.
Yeah, it's really good, really, really good. It's just nice to play something a little bit different as well. So,
does it look too powerful or graphically for the Switch? Do you reckon, or? Trying to imagine what it looks like.
I mean, obviously you're not watching my Twitch stream at the moment, are you? So you can't see. But it's not like super awesome graphics or anything like that. It's kind of like got just a bit of a cartoonish art style to it. Right. But I don't know if the Switch. I mean, the Switch can run The Witcher. It could run this. So yeah. Yes, it is good, and that's literally all I've played. So, I'm just going to go.
Have you ever thought of checking out that V Rising at all on the PC?
Yeah, people have been mentioning this to me, and then there's a few people in the Discord community that have picked it up, and I'm not picking it up at the moment because, I mean, it's not expensive. It's like 16 quid, but I've been burnt so much.
It's not actually full release yet.
No,
it's
not.
It's still in early access or whatever. It's
but the problem I've got is I'm kind of trying to be a bit more picky on the games I'm buying now, and I say trying. And the reason for that is because I've been burnt so many times. People say, "Oh yeah, pick this game up on PC." Blah blah blah. I've got hundreds of games on PC, and I've been buying like these early access games, and I'll play them for like a week or two, and then the hype dies down, and no one's playing them anymore. So you just kind of fall off it. So, I feel like this will probably happen with that as well. To be honest, so. And it's not really like kind of 100% my type of game, because I know it's like an isometric Diablo type style, but there's a lot of survival aspects to it and building your base and shit like that. And it's not really 100% like the type of game I like to really play a lot. So no, I probably won't end up. No, but I see it's very popular at the moment. But I guarantee you in a couple of weeks it will die. Yeah. I can't remember where I was now. Oh fuck! I've just lost my. I'll just give me a second. I just literally, as I was talking to you, I just lost my. I deleted my browser, so just give me 2 seconds. I'll bring it back because I was loading up a. Yes, that's right. So a little bit of news this week. Star Wars Jedi Survivor has been announced, which is the sequel to that last Star Wars game with that ginger bloke in it. Jedi Fallen Order, wasn't it? Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah. Well, you know what I mean, yeah? There's not many games with gingers in it, is there, as the main dude? So, you know, it won't be hard to deduce. Yeah, I'm really excited for this because I really enjoyed Fallen Order. I thought it was a really good game. I really liked the main character and the story. So this has been announced to come out next year. I'll definitely be picking this up.
No gameplay, was it? It was just like an announced trailer thing.
Yeah, but I think it's just really cool to see that they're doing a sequel because it is one of the best Star Wars games to come out in recent years, in my opinion. So I'm really looking forward to playing this 6 months after launch when it hits Game Pass. Lols! Yeah, so I think quite a lot of people are excited for this. Peebs is excited for it because I saw you put a video in our Facebook group for it.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Anything Star Wars, I'm on board.
Yeah, I thought so.
Have you all been watching the Obi-Wan this week?
I've not watched it yet. I've been too busy watching Stranger Things season 4, mate.
It's too much to watch at the minute. No, I've been waiting for the missus to get a bit of time so we can watch it, but I have heard the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan are supposed to be really good.
Amazing, yeah. I watched both of them, and I watched the first episode of Stranger Things, which I felt went on a bit too long.
Well, each episode is like an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, they are long, aren't they?
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, I was moaning that they're going to be that they're too long, and then I ended up watching 4 episodes in 2 days. Sly Almond has done all 7 episodes already, which is nuts. But they're withholding the last 2 episodes until the 1st of July, and episode 9 is 2 hours and 40 minutes or something stupid.
Right, yeah.
I know, it's longer than most films. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane.
I just thought, it's going on too long. Is that a good sign when you're actually looking at the clock? You know.
Well, I actually. So I've watched the first 4 episodes, and I'm really digging it. I think it's really well done.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the better seasons because there's a lot. I don't know. Obviously, I don't want to spoil it, but I'd just say there's a lot going on which you wouldn't expect, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
Apart from that main girl, Millie, well, whatever her name is, I just find her so annoying. I don't know why. Something about her that I just find her annoying. But the rest of the show is really, really cool.
Yeah. Did you watch Raised by Wolves?
No, I do actually have that on my watch list. It's been on my watch list for over a year. Not watched it. I've heard it's good.
Oh, it's very good. Very good.
Ridley Scott, isn't it?
Well, yeah, he started it. I think he did the first couple of episodes or something, but yeah, someone else took over. Yeah, it's a total mindfuck. It really is. I mean, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. If you like really good, thought-provoking science fiction, this is really going to screw.
Awesome.
Basically, it's about it's about religion, and it's about atheists and religious freaks. On another planet. It's really well done. Really well done.
Yeah, I've heard it's good, but I just, as people are saying, there's just so much on TV, isn't there? It's just hard to find time to watch it all.
There's a lot on Netflix and stuff. Yeah, shit on TV.
Oh yeah.
Who watches TV?
I only watch TV for the fucking sport. a few sports, and that's it.
Yeah. It's when you think you're paying the TV license for what? I don't think I'll watch any BBC now or listen to it.
I'll be happy when they scrap it.
Yeah, me too.
I listen to a lot of the radio, the BBC Sounds and stuff. That's quite well done. But yeah, the thing is now there's so many subscription services: Apple, Netflix, Amazon. There's even like Discovery now, and all. There's loads of different ones. And now these streaming services are being. Before you could binge watch, like before Stranger Things would have been on, you could binge watch the whole thing. But now they've wised up. They want you to prolong your subscription.
Yeah.
So, because what they're worried about is you pay for 1 month and you can binge watch your whole series and then just cancel your subscription. Yeah. So now they're staggering them so that they're getting more subscription out of you. That's what Disney are doing. Like with obviously Boba Fett was weekly and Obi-Wan's, Swine.
I don't mind it though. Really, I don't mind that. Because you do binge something. You're waiting
you can over binge, can't you?
Yeah. Be better if they did do it weekly. Then you could, it's almost like old TV series that you had back in the day. And
that's it.
Yeah. By the time you finished it, something else has come out.
Well, I remember you remember when Lost came out? On the telly, it was every week, and then every week, like everyone at work or whatever would be like, "Oh, did you see it last night? Oh my god, blah blah blah." And now you kind of lost that, haven't you? It's like, did you watch that whole season of Stranger Things last week? Yeah. You kind of forgotten half of it because you watched it.
A couple of weeks later, no one's talking about it.
Yeah,
you can't talk about it, can you? Because you're worried about if someone ain't watched it. Whereas, if it's on weekly, then people talk about it, don't they? Or did you see it last night? How good was that?
Yeah, it's like with Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and that started. Yeah, well, the Game of Thrones thing. It was almost like you felt like if you was even slightly into it, you felt you had to watch it as soon as it came out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, someone was going to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Game of Thrones, I thought there was two. Game of Thrones just had so many fucking branching story paths. I just lost interest in it in the end. It's too many. Too many.
Yeah.
And it would something like that normally right up my street, Dungeons and Dragons and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, man. There's too many branching story paths I didn't give a fuck about,
Fair enough.
I'll tell you a good film I did see last week was The Northman.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I've seen it.
That is really good. Fucking talk about brutal.
Is it? Oh, okay. I'm going to check this out then.
It's not too bad. I think people oversold. I've seen way more violent films than that, but it does go into the gritty, I suppose.
It does. It makes it feel very authentic, though, doesn't it? It feels like from the time, the way they've shot it and stuff.
Yeah, that was the whole point, wasn't it? And how it was done and such.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. It was good.
Oh, let me get into my last couple of bits of news. So, obviously, you know that the PlayStation Plus subscriptions have changed, and you can get like your Ultimate with. It's kind of like the Game Pass of PlayStation. I know a lot of social media was up in arms when it came out in Asia, because basically, if you bought PlayStation Plus at a discount, they were charging people for upgrades extra money to make up for that discount. So everyone was up in arms, oh, how could they do this, blah, blah, blah. And even I was like, fucking hell, that's a bit taking the piss, isn't it? But Sony have come out and saying that's actually, well, I don't believe this, but this is me having my conspiracy head on. Sony have come out and said, oh, this was a mistake, and all future purchases will not be making up for the extra charges for people that had discounts. But my conspiracy head is, there was so much Yeah, that's what I was to say. There was so much backlash, they backtracked on it, just trying to penny pinch. So, yeah. Oh, Peebs has just said that Pacman Museum has no Chivos. Really?
Yeah, I've just downloaded it on my Xbox and played it, and it says achievements not supported, which is a big delay.
Is it because you haven't booted the game up, or?
No, it's downloaded properly, I think. Yeah,
well, no, the achievements, like I've had that with games before, where I've installed the game, but because I haven't booted it up, it's like only when you first boot it up it activates the achievements.
No, I boot it up because I'm playing it now.
Oh, right, fair enough.
And you go to achievements and it says achievements aren't supported.
No way.
That's the first game on Xbox I've known that.
Yeah. Oh, I've actually got the list in front of me of the games. It's Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, Pac-and-Pal, Pac-Land, awesome game. Pac-Mania, Pac-Attack, Pac-in-Time, Pac-Man Rearrangement Arcade, Pac-Man Arrangement CS version, I'm guessing that's console, Pac-Man Championship Edition, Pac-Motos, Pac-and-Roll Remix, Pac-Man Battle Royale, and Pac-Man 256. That's pretty good selection, but
I bet Dan's all over this, isn't he?
But no Chivos. That's fucking weird, man. That is.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm gonna Google this after the podcast and see what's going on with that. I won't do it now because I'm nearly at the end now. And obviously, we mentioned that Modern Warfare 2 is coming out on the 28th of October. Awesome. That's my news. I'm just going to check for questions. I think
there was one or two. The PlayStation Showcase, isn't there, this Thursday?
That's happening this Thursday, is it?
Is it Thursday or Friday? I'm not too sure. It's one of those. It's the third-party one, isn't it? Apparently showing off third-party developers and PSVR 2 stuff. Or PSVR 2 games in the works.
Okay, I don't know what day that is. I'll have a look and I'll look that up. But yeah, the PSVR 2, I know they're going to do a big push for the VR again, aren't they? But I see it being a bit of a flip-flop, personally.
I enjoyed the last one. It's just a bit of a pain. If they can make it easier to use, less of a pain to set up, etc., and obviously support it a bit better. I mean, you had some good games in VR and stuff, and it was just a damn shame that Resident Evil 8 wasn't in VR. Like, if they actually enable that in VR for PlayStation, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Because, there's some really good locations. Imagine, like, visiting those in VR.
Oh, fuck that, man. I'd shit my pants. Wes asks, are you worried that these Game Pass models, Xbox and PlayStation, could ruin the gaming industry because it breeds a I'm not buying games mentality? For example, it was reported that the Outriders developers didn't make any money on the game and are still yet to break even though it was a day one Xbox game So Microsoft obviously gave them a chunk of money for the game, but it's still not enough to cover costs. Surely this will just kill off studios or just encourage them to make lower budget games that could result in lower quality games like we have been seeing lately. What's your guys' thoughts on this?
Oh, most of the games that seem to sort of make their money back will do pretty well on Game Pass, because there are a lot of developers that have praised Game Pass.
Yeah.
But they do generally working on smaller games, whereas Outriders it's not really AAA, but it's sort of like a AA, isn't it, I suppose?
I think Outriders is a poor example, to be honest, because it didn't sell very well on PC or PlayStation because it didn't review very well. And let's be honest here, it wasn't really a great game. I mean, we had fun playing it co-op, but it was kind of
I didn't mind it.
I mean, it was one of those. It reminded me of one of those old Xbox 360 kind of AA romps you just kind of go through because it's co-op.
But would have probably struggled without. Do you know what I mean? Even if it wasn't on Game Pass, it probably would have struggled anyway. I don't know.
Well, they probably made more money because it went on Game Pass. You know, there's a lot of devs that praised it, like Darren said.
There's, Game Pass does get a bit of stick, doesn't it, from some people that don't like it. They're worried it's going to affect developers and stuff. But I don't know. Like you say, there's some companies have come out and said they've actually made more money by having their games on there. So I don't really know how it works and how much Microsoft pay them. But
yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I like Game Pass.
It's not PlayStation fanboys who besmirch it.
Well, funnily enough, all the PlayStation fanboys that were besmirching Game Pass, because it's now they've got their own version on PlayStation. It's now the greatest thing ever. So take from that what you will. I mean, I think
obviously they've had new stuff this week, haven't they? Of some of the back compat on the new PlayStation service, and it looks kind of weird where they kind of up-res some of the older games where you can play them in like a different visual style.
Well, Digital Foundry put a video out this week, absolutely slamming.
I wasn't too happy with it.
Slamming it,
I was watching it. I don't know. Bit strange, and the fact they've used the PAL versions for some of the games is like, what?
That's really
you
odd.
know that runs slower.
That's a really odd decision.
Like they said, it's because of the. It seems like the guy on the video said because they supported a lot of languages because it was for like the PAL territory, so there's a lot of European languages supported.
Right.
Whereas in the American ones, I don't even think they have Spanish in those.
Wow.
As a selectable option, I think it was just American.
Right.
Or English.
Okay, it's starting to make a bit more sense now. I'm sure it will improve in time, but I mean, I'm not worried about it because, like, I look at myself as someone who's, you know, I'm a big gamer, obviously, but you know, I use Game Pass, but I'm still buying games, you know, and I imagine that a lot of other people who are into video games like me are also in the same position, enjoying the subscription services, but still spending money on games that aren't available on the subscription services as well. I don't think it's going to stop people because if you really want to play a game, you're going to fucking buy it. It's just what's going to happen, right? So I think it's good to have options, and I'm not worried.
Well, no, I mean I'm interested in the PlayStation one. I'll probably subscribe for at least a couple of months and play some of the games I haven't played, like the Demon Souls. I really want to, because that's on there, isn't it, from the pass?
Yeah.
So it's worth doing for that. But yeah, I must admit, since I've come back off my holiday, I've not really switched my PlayStation on. It's I know I was like paid over the odds to get it, and then played it for a couple of weeks, and I haven't really been back on it at the minute because I haven't really got anything to play. But when does this subscription thing go live on the PlayStation?
I thought it was out already, and it's not
early
out yet.
Next month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so okay.
Right, yeah. So that'll be for me. Switch it back on and subscribe for a couple of months and try and smash out some games on there. But yeah, all I've been playing on there is the Fall Guys, which is still a great little game.
Yeah,
and that's supposed to be coming on to Xbox soon, isn't it?
Yeah, free to play as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the PlayStation is a great console and it's got a great selection of games. However, like I go through fits and starts with what systems I'm playing, you know. And for me, at the moment, the PlayStation is just my Gran Turismo machine, you know, and I'm really enjoying it. But you know, it's got some great exclusives on it, which I think most of them are part of this PlayStation Pass thing or whatever the fuck it's called. So, you know, if you've not played a lot of these PS5 exclusives, I think it's going to be a great option for people to experience them.
They also announced a load of entertainment, didn't they, based on various PlayStation properties this week.
And they're making some movies.
Netflix is getting like a Horizon Zero Dawn thing. Amazon's getting a God of War thing, and then someone else is doing a Gran Turismo TV show.
How do you make a TV show on Gran Turismo? It's got no fucking story.
No idea. It's probably just going to be a car history, basically, more than likely.
Oh, that's just going to be so weird.
Like, out of all of them, the Gran Turismo one's probably got the best chance of actually being half decent.
Well, I thought the Uncharted movie was quite good. I don't know if you've watched it.
Right, it was unnecessary. It was kind of okay.
Well, the ending was fucking really stupid, but the rest of it was pretty decent.
What's the Mortal Kombat film like? Is that any good?
I've not seen it yet.
The recent one, there's the parts of it were decent, and then other parts weren't. So it was like Kano's and the guy that played him, he was funny, like in it. And I liked the Scorpion and Sub-Zero stuff at the beginning with the village attack and things like that. But then there are other parts that just didn't really land for me.
Right. That's fair enough, mate. I'm going to go to the next question. I've only got a couple more. Clarky asks, what's your favourite 8-bit / 16-bit chiptune theme from a game?
Sensible Soccer.
Oh, God, that's a difficult one.
Yeah, that's immensely difficult.
I quite like the
good start-ups for stuff. These Streets of Rage, the first one.
Yeah, I was going to say the Streets of Rage sounds good.
I really like the Outrun theme tune, the original one, you know.
Yeah,
Mario, you can't go wrong with either. like Super Mario World or something.
Would Street Fighter count as that? From Street Fighter 2?
No, it's just like the intro tune. Yeah, Street Fighter 2 class as well, I guess. Like
I think
music for the intro.
Donkey Kong Country on the SNES has got some great tunes.
Yeah.
Axley on the SNES, fantastic soundtrack on that.
You'd have to try and get on here one time, Alex, when we do our retro music show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we've got to do another one of those, haven't we?
You'd have a good selection probably out of that.
Yeah, it's fucking loads, man. I'm just looking at my games.
Yeah.
So many great tunes.
Oh, should we move
Sonic,
on?
isn't it? It's really iconic.
Oh, the Green Hill Zone track in particular.
Yeah.
Any of you guys seen Sonic 2 yet?
Yes.
No.
It's fucking awesome. Have you seen it? Have you seen it yet, Darren?
I haven't seen either of them.
Oh, it's so good because Jim Carrey just makes those films. He's so funny.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He just really goes for it in those. They are kind of like his vehicle, really.
He is the best
Sonic's
Dr.
like the supporting
Robotnik.
character.
Yeah.
You'd want him on the screen more than anyone else, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, number 2 is good because Tails and Knuckles make quite a big appearance in it in the second one, which is, and it's really well done. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, I even like the little nod at the end as well, like in the end thing that goes down. It was just like, that's so kind of out of the games.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Cutty asks Jaguar or 3DO?
3DO.
I'd go 3DO. 3DO actually had one of Naughty Dog's very first games on it.
Really?
Way of the Warrior.
Aliens is good on the Jaguar and Tempest.
Wasn't the Jaguar, weren't they both just really shit systems?
Well, they were.
The Jaguar was reasonable as well.
Yeah, they were shit. But there's a handful of good games.
Yeah, but didn't the 3DO have that really shit Zelda game?
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're thinking of the Amiga CD. I think that was.
Are you sure?
It was the Philips CDI.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
was that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I thought the 3DO.
The only game I can think
had
of
the best Road Rash.
Is Road Rash.
Mm.
I can't think of any others.
3DO Road Rash. Super Street Fighter on. Yeah, Super Street Fighter was good on the 3DO. The Horde was good on the 3DO. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go with the Jaguar, I think.
I wouldn't.
They both have about the same amount of reasonable games, I think.
Yeah.
I couldn't answer. I'm sorry. Never played them.
But I will say the 3DO could play music CDs and stuff, and that wasn't it one of the very first ones that could play. Could it play film or something off of it, or video, some form?
Yeah, FM video.
Yeah,
it was shit.
I still remember back when I was a kid, like seeing Night Trap for the first time.
God!
Yeah, they're coming back, those games, aren't they? Because they got released onto the Switch recently.
I bought it on the Switch, thinking, do some nostalgia. And I was like, this is shit. Why did I just?
To be honest, though, those games have basically changed into what we now have with like the Dark Pictures trilogy or whatever it was, and the new upcoming Quarry, the kind of sort of like survivally games. That Quarry could be pretty damn good actually, from what I've seen of it. If you like those kind of games,
yeah, I love them.
Did you have Killer Corpse?
What?
Have you seen Killer Corpse?
Rings a bell. I must have seen it at some point.
You have got to see a video of that. It is hilarious. It either come out on that 3DO or one of those systems. It's kind of like, it's not video. I think it's pre-rendered graphics or something. But it's just fucking so ridiculous. The zombies in it.
Right.
It's just, you've got to watch it. It's just hilarious. I mean, there's like zombies in it that are like hip hop zombies and stuff like that that you're shooting, and they just come. Yeah, it's weird as fuck. Very weird game. I want to own it just because it just looks so bad.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's out on the Switch, so I've got to get it just to see what it's like. Because they had House of Dead come out last week as well, didn't it, on the Switch?
Yeah.
And a lot of people complain about because it's all Joy-Cons now, isn't it? You haven't got a light gun.
Yeah.
But it's all with a gyroscope.
It's not very accurate. No.
It's not very accurate, no, which is a shame because that is a good game.
Well, since we moved away from CRTs, there's been no good light gun games because you used to work with the reflection of the screen, didn't?
Yeah, but that's true. But you had the Wii, didn't you, and the sensor, and you had some good gun games on that.
Oh, fair enough.
Didn't you? You had House of Dead Overkill, which was brilliant. That was a brilliant game. On the PS3, and was it on the PS3? Did it come out now? PS2?
There was one on the PS3, wasn't there?
Oh, did it use that camera? Did it?
Like move support.
Yeah, the dildo-looking controllers. Yeah. Okay.
And that worked all right.
Still can't beat Time Crisis, man. And Point Blank. Yeah. Oh, so good.
Operation Wolf.
Oh yeah,
that was probably the first one I remember. I remember that having a vibrating Uzi on the arcade cabinet.
Yeah, so cool.
Brilliant game.
Still, the best one I ever used, which was actually cool. I can't remember what it was called, but it took all of that to the next level. And I last played it at what used to be Sega World in the Trocadero.
Oh,
it basically got bought out by another company, but they still had an arcade on one of the levels.
Yeah.
And basically on it, you used a Gatling gun hanging out the side of a chopper. I had to play it. It was £2 or £3 a credit, but I was just I've got to try this. I can't not. But
we've still got to do a trip to the arcade club, dude, because that place is just unbelievable. They've got all that stuff.
Trying to organise it for the summer, so I'm definitely going to do it. The one in Manchester,
the one up north,
Bury,
the
Bury one, because I was trying to organise in a Discord, and most people were like, "Oh, it's too far," and I was like, "Oh, fuck you, then I'm still going."
It's not that far. Just get a hotel, Premier Inn.
Job done.
So many times.
It's great.
It's such great.
Yeah, I think for me it's like a 2, maybe a 3-hour drive or something. It's not that bad because I drove from where I used to live to then. That was about 4.5, 5 hours, I think, from where I used to live, and I had a great time.
Yeah,
man. Definitely going to do it in the summer this year. Yeah, we'll do it in the next couple of months. 100%. We'll get it organised.
Yeah.
Good times.
Just stick a date in the diary and just say that's it. We're going on this date. Whoever wants to come, open invitation. You know.
Yeah.
Just do it.
We'll sort it out between us, Alex, when we're free, because I know you'll 100% go. So I think Peebs wants to go as well, but
I'll come. Not working.
We just need to make sure because I know. I mean, I work shifts at the moment. Peebs work shifts. We work weekends, so I'd either have to book some holiday or wait until we're both off. Whatever. I mean, I don't mind.
Yeah, I'd have to because I cover shifts basically.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we'll try and get a date sorted. We'll have a chat in a week or something and try and get some dates down.
Sounds good.
Cool. Anything else? Because I've done all my questions. It's 11 o'clock at night. I know people are tired. I've got work tomorrow, so we'll end it here then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Fuck me. Well, 2.5 hours in the recording actually. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Cool. So it's been awesome. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming on. We'll probably, hopefully, if we can get the dates organised for this arcade club, I'll be able to announce the dates on the podcast in the next couple of weeks. Then that'll be good.
Yeah.
And then obviously, it'll be in the Discord in the meetup chat room as well, which I've got on there. So, try and keep an eye on that as well. But yeah, from all of us here, it's been awesome. So for me, Mark Webb, Gamertag, PSNID, SteamID, Webby, 360G.
A resident Chivo Hawk, Mr. Peebs.
Alex from Nintendo Arcade.
And Sensei Switch.
So thank you very much. It's been super awesome. Visit the website 360gamercast.com for all the links for all the social media channels. And more importantly, the link to the Patreon page. Patreon.com/360gamercast. Subscribe from as little as £5 a month, and you get us an episode every single week of the year, and any special extra episodes we decide to do. So thank you very much. We will see you on twitch.tv/Webby360G next week, 8:30 PM. Be there or be square. See you later.